Hi, welcome back to Advanced PLC Programming. Today I'm going to do some ladder logic, and it's the next lab in the course. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with my template file because I don't want to go doing all my aliases every time I do a lab. So here I've got my template file. Notice I called it template underscore Paul underscore, and then I put in the date. The reason I do that, even though Windows is going to put in the date automatically, every time I move this file from, say, my USB drive onto the lab computer and then back to my USB drive, every time I do that, it's going to change that date to the current date and time. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep track of when I made this template file because I'm not going to change this template file unless I find something wrong with it. So here's my file. Now I'm going to copy paste, make a copy of that guy, and I'm going to rename this. I'm going to call it ladder underscore intro underscore Paul and underscore 072220. Okay, every file name you want to say what that file is. So this is ladder intro. You want to put your name in it so that I can know whose file is whose, because when you all upload your stuff to Canvas, sometimes I get them all mixed up and I don't know whose is whose. And you want to put the date in. So I just call it lad instead of ladder, that's fine. Intro, Paul, today's date, and we're good. So I'm going to open that ACD file. While it's opening, let's go look at this PLC over here. The PLC and the trainer, this is what I used for setting up my template. And if you recall, I tested by putting switch 8 connected to these two lights. So it's still doing that, even though I'm not online with this PLC. That's how PLCs work. You program them. Once you're happy with the program, you go offline and you go back to your office and the PLC stays wherever it is and it does its job. Okay, here's my file. And one other thing we should notice on this PLC, let me grab this camera and pick it up, and we'll see if I can focus on here. This PLC, in the little window on the controller up there, it's scrolling by and it calls it template, because that's the file that's the program that's loaded into this PLC. Now, when I make changes, we're going to see that change. All right, here's my start of my ladder logic. If I look in controller tags, I've got all my addresses here. If I expand main program and look at the tags here, there's all my aliases that I made. So button upper, let me pull this over. Button upper green, e-stop, light lower red, I've got them all in there already. Now, two things I want to do before I spend any time working on this new lab. I want to save my Studio 5000 file, and I want to go online with that PLC and make sure I can talk to it and everything's okay. So I hit save often, and go online often. I'm online, and I'll go to my main routine that I made before. I'm going to delete that. Oh, I need to go offline, sorry. So I'm deleting all the test stuff I did. Here's lab number 1. It says while you hold down the yellow push button, the lower yellow light is energized. See if I can get this organized on my screen. All right, so I need an input for my top yellow push button. So I need button upper yellow, and that's going to give me an output for lower yellow light. So light, lower, yellow. All right, I'm going to go online with that. Download it. Always download, don't upload. If you upload, you're going to take whatever's in the PLC and you're going to overwrite what you have in Studio 5000. And generally, that's not what you want to do. Okay, so I did this wrong. I did button lower yellow, but that's all right. Let's go check it. So I took out that switch 8. It's not doing anything anymore. If I push button lower yellow, that light comes on. I should have set it up to this button, so I did my logic wrong, but the way I did it is working. Let me go back offline. And I want to change this to button upper yellow. That guy. Go back online. Download. Every time you make a change, you have to download it again. And it's a little bit tedious sometimes, especially if you're making lots of little changes. You just have to keep downloading. All right, let's go check my logic. When I push before it was the bottom button was working that light, and it's not doing that anymore. When I push this top one, it should light, and it does. So my logic is working. I've done the first step of this lab, and because I started with my template file, I saved myself a lot of tedious work, and it just made the lab go easier. So I can go through the rest of the lab, do all the steps, and I should be done this in not too long a time. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.